The night sky was alive with countless stars, stretching endlessly over the alien desert where the human explorers had landed weeks ago. The air shimmered faintly with soft blue light from distant moons, and silence hung heavy except for the crackle of their small campfire. Ethan sat beside it, staring at the translator chip resting in his palm. He had been trying to communicate with her, the alien princess they had rescued for days. Her name was Liara, and though she looked different from any human woman, her eyes carried something deeply familiar: curiosity, pride, and hidden sorrow. Liara watched him from across the fire, her silver hair reflecting the flames like threads of light. She had laughed the first time he tried to speak her language. His pronunciation had been terrible, and she had covered her mouth, her laughter soft but mocking. He had smiled back then too, realizing that she was not cold like the others of her kind. She was different, almost human in her emotions, though she would never admit it. He kept trying every night, teaching her words, showing her small things: a coin, a compass, a flower pressed in a book. She seemed fascinated by the simple human world, though she tried to hide it. That evening, a sandstorm was gathering far on the horizon. The wind whispered across the dunes, carrying with it the scent of approaching rain, a rare thing on her home planet. Liara stood near the edge of the camp, her gaze distant. Ethan walked to her side and held out his jacket, motioning that the cold would soon bite. She frowned, shaking her head with that same pride he had seen since day one. But when the first drops fell, cold and sharp, she accepted it silently, her fingers brushing his hand. Her skin was warm, almost too warm, and for a moment neither of them moved. He could feel the tension in the air shift. It was not just the storm anymore. Something in her eyes changed. The same woman who had laughed at his clumsy touch now looked at him as if searching for meaning in his every breath. They took shelter inside the crashed vessel, metal walls humming faintly as the wind howled outside. He set a light in the corner, soft golden glow filling the small space. Liara sat near him, her silver armor catching reflections like liquid moonlight. The silence between them grew thicker until she finally spoke, her voice quiet through the translator. "Why do humans always reach for what they cannot have?" she asked softly, her gaze fixed on the storm. Ethan looked at her, unsure if it was a question or a warning. "Because we believe everything can be understood," he said, smiling faintly. "Even hearts from other worlds." She looked at him then, eyes bright with something unspoken. "Foolish," she whispered, but her tone was not cruel anymore. Lightning flashed outside, lighting up her face in brilliant contrast. The thunder rolled over them, echoing in the chamber, and she flinched slightly, the sound alien to her senses. He reached out instinctively, his hand resting gently on hers. This time she did not pull away. For a heartbeat, time stopped. Her breathing slowed, her eyes locked on him. There was no translation needed for what passed between them in that moment. It was something beyond language, beyond species. It was raw connection. She leaned closer, her voice trembling like the storm. "Your world? You fight even when there is no chance. You protect what is already lost. Why?" He looked into her eyes and spoke softly. "Because that is who we are. We keep trying. We keep caring, even when it hurts." The words seemed to strike something inside her. Her lips parted, a sound escaping that was not laughter this time, but a soft sigh, almost human in its weakness. The wind outside began to fade, replaced by the quiet rhythm of rain against metal. She turned her face slightly, her hair falling like silver threads against his shoulder. He could feel her heartbeat through the light armor, fast and unsure. When she finally spoke again, her voice was barely above a whisper. "Your touch. It feels strange," he smiled, his tone gentle. "Good strange or bad strange?" She hesitated before answering, her eyes lowering. "I do not know yet." They sat there side by side, as the rain continued to fall outside, washing away the dust and silence of the alien land. In that small shelter under a foreign sky, the princess who had once laughed at human touch now found herself unable to move away from it. She rested her head lightly against his shoulder, eyes closing, a soft breath escaping her lips. He did not speak again. He only watched her. The alien woman whose laughter had once felt like mockery now sounded like music in his memory. The storm passed, but neither of them noticed. The stars returned above, shining through the broken hull of the ship, and the translator, long forgotten between them, remained silent. Somewhere far above, The stars looked down upon two souls who no longer cared about the boundaries of world or language, and under that endless light, her name slipped from his lips softly. Liara. She stirred, eyes half open, and whispered his name in return, her voice carrying warmth that no translator could ever define.